Hello, everyone. I'm Nikki R. Thomas, licensed associate real estate broker with the Corcoran Group, and I am super excited to welcome you to this series where I'm going to be interviewing local business owners in Park Slope. And I am super excited about today's interviewee because she is the proprietor of one of my favorite shops in all of Park Slope. And she is Ann Cantrell of Annie's Blue Ribbon General Store. And thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be part of this.
All right. So for people, again, you are just, to me, you're an integral part of the community, but there's still some people out there who haven't actually been to your shop. So can you tell folks, what is Annie's Blue Ribbon?
Yes, well, it's the idea of a general store. I grew up in New Jersey, but I loved general stores in all up and down the East Coast. And it's that idea, but for city living. So a lot of utilitarian products, as well as fun and functional items. And we try to have a good time.
Yeah, the store is just so fun. I mean, you go in there and it's just bursting at the seams with goodness. Like there's just so many things. I love just kind of popping in there and to browse around. And I kind of feel like I don't feel like there's quite as many stores like that kind of nowadays, where it's just like you just really feel drawn in and you just want to come and explore and see what they have each time. And I feel like your shop really gives that, which is great. Speaking of which, kind of in terms of things that distinguish Annie's Blue Ribbon General Store, what do you think makes it different from other stores?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for those kind words and our intro. And I love the idea that you feel transported when you come into the shop. And I definitely love that. That is definitely a feeling I try to carry through. When I was first starting out the shop, I remember speaking to a colleague that was helping me, and she was talking about gallery style stores where you have one of everything out. I'm like, no. I'm not gallery style at all. We have a lot going on always, but hopefully we've set it up so it's easy to follow our thought process along the way. But I think the thing that sets a couple of things that I hope that set us apart. One is merchandising. We really put a lot of thought into our stories, our moments. My background is in fashion, and the way that we would set up a new delivery would always be around, there was a story behind it. And so I've tried to bring that same thing to how we merchandise product in the store, and just even adjacencies in the shop. This has to be near that because it's makes you laugh. And it's not just, I want you to buy this and not together. Although sometimes it's a customer will put those two things together. I'm like, oh, that was so brilliant. But it's also just oh, okay, this is a thoughtful moment. Even right now it's winter. So we have ski items together, but we also then have a first aid flask or a ski trip candle or something. So we try to really, I think merchandising is hopefully one of our competitive advantages. And then also just being really community oriented and really community driven. We not just give back to the community a lot, but also I love when I hear customers seeing old friends or, someone they just saw on the drop-off line, and having conversations oh my gosh. And so I love that idea. I actually originally wanted to call it maybe a community store. And I feel that's really what it is. And that makes me really happy. And as well as being part of who we are.
Yeah, I think again, it's just got really just the best feel when you go in there. So I personally think you hit the mark with the merchandising. So you had mentioned earlier that you grew up with general stores and that it had a big impact to you on your decision to actually open a general store. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so actually I grew up in a very rural part of New Jersey, and all I wanted to do was live how my daughter's growing up, which is be able to walk to a cool store and on your own and have fun. But I grew up very much in the woods and remote areas. So we had some fun general stores, and I would just spend hours I just always was really into products and ideas and that kind of thing. But I had the idea for the general store in 1996. And so if you do the math, that was a long time before I opened. Anyway, so I was really just pulling together ideas and figuring out how to pay for it and how to pull it all together. So it took a bit of time. We opened in 2007. And, but even before that, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur and figure things out. It was really two stores really inspired me. One is on Martha's Vineyard, and it's called Allie's General Store. And they are just like a really eclectic mix. Like President Obama would visit there when he was there. It was just like an iconic part of the Up Island lifestyle. Not only did they have a lot of cool products, but they also, back in the day, they were a mail center. They used to rent videos there. You get your coffee and all your dirt of the neighborhood there. That really inspired me. I lived there for after college for a couple summers, and then I went on a trip to Sydney, Australia, and there was a store called Remo General Store. Mm-hmm. And that was, I think their tagline might have been like a community store. And they were just so interesting and fun. And I loved their merchandising, and I loved the idea of them. They were very crowdsourced. They would put up designs and people would write in. This is like early days of the internet, but people would write in what they liked about them, and should they even get them made, t-shirts and mugs and stuff like that. And so it was very community oriented. So I kind of had those as the early inspirations. And then when I moved to Brooklyn, I just knew this was the spot to do it in. And so it's been a fun journey.
Now, speaking of you coming and opening the shop in Brooklyn, my understanding is that the shop was not originally in Park Slope. You were somewhere else, and then you came to Park Slope. So kind of what happened there? What was that process?
Yes. So we opened in October 2007 in 520 square feet in Boerum Hill, Brooklyn. It's probably only like 20-minute walk from here. It's on the other side of the Barclays Center, before the Barclays Center. And yes. And we were a little off the beaten path. We were one block from Atlantic Avenue, but then one like on the other side of that one block. So it was a very residential area, but it was still, we had a really good, I didn't really know any better. We were kind of like on a corner. We were like a big fishbowl. It was a cool area, but it was very off the beaten path. And then we definitely were looking for more space. I was trying to find different places in the area. And then actually a mutual friend of the store that was here before, called Scaredy Cat. That store was moving to North Carolina and wanted to find a place that was an independent business that would add value to the neighborhood. Nice. So they through this rep that worked for both of us, found us, and we that was 9.5 years ago. So we've been open for 15 years in October, so almost 15 and a half soon. And we moved over within that time frame.
Awesome. Yeah. So I didn't have so basically that means that, because I've been in Park Slope myself it'll be 9 years actually in April. My goodness, how the time flies. And so then that means actually that you folks moved to your current location on Fifth Avenue, not too long before we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like, because again, like I cannot overstate how much I just enjoy popping into that shop. It's just, it's dangerously close.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. You've been in business for 15 years, which is such a huge accomplishment for any small business. I mean, gosh, just surviving your first like 2 to 3 years is a tremendous challenge. Done it for 15.
Yeah, and we started October 2007 was like pretty much like the last of the loans, and then the recession hit, and and then COVID. I don't know. Gosh. It's been a lot.
So you've been through some stuff. Let's put it that way. What do you think has gotten you and your business through like just so many twists and turns, economically speaking, over the last 15 years, of which there have been just so many in such a short period of time?
Oh, without a doubt, it's the community and all their support and great people like you and customers. I'm probably going to start tearing up when I talk about like some of the amazing customers. I just saw this woman today, Carla. She during She placed so many orders with us online. She sent presents to her grandkids in Colorado, her sister. I mean, everybody. She was just like so thoughtful and sweet. And when we finally were able to do in-store pickup, I was like, Carla, thank you so much. I literally gave her a thank you note. I was like, thank you so much for all your support. She's like, I don't want you to close, girl. Like, we need you. And there's like so many other businesses and people and support system that were like that. And we're just super grateful. We had a lot of luck. I don't know. Sometimes I don't really believe in luck. We were set up for success pre-COVID because we already had a robust online presence. And so that we were able to do about 75% of our business online in those months that we were closed, which is amazing.
That really is. It's incredible.
We were so lucky. And then for certain circumstances, we were selected by the National Retail Federation to do they chose 20 small businesses around the country to do this kickoff with Curate Retail Group, which is Home Shopping Network and QVC.
Oh, okay.
And we partnered with them, and it was a 3-prong, something that we earned. And that was in May of 2020. So we were on QVC and a Home Shopping Network, and they literally were like, you 75 million customers, go to her website right now. And our back end of our site, like, we can really see all the action. That they also gave us amazing mentorship through that. And they also gave us some legislative help. So we were able to meet with our legislative councilwoman, who is amazing contact here because she's Nydia Velasquez, who's also the head of the Small Business Administration for the entire House of Representatives. So I felt like we just were so lucky to get all those so much help. And I also am a big advocate of small business in general. So I wasn't just trying to advocate for me, I was like trying to spread the word about other small businesses out there as well through that process. But so we, I still have like it was a tough time. I think we'll always, look back at that time, and, we just hustled as hard as we could, and we were able to make it through even stronger.
Yeah. And it sounds like, I guess, like, even though your move to, I think, Park Slope it had to be like the right opportunity came around at the right time for you. It sounds like it just worked out really wonderfully because you were a good fit for the community. And speaking of the community and Park Slope, as a small business owner yourself, what are some of your favorite spots in the neighborhood?
Oh, that's a good question. First of all, I also have to say I'm hyper local. Like, I live very close to the shop. My daughter she just graduated from the local middle school. She's now in middle school, but she went to PS 321, which is like the most awesome primary school. And now she's at a middle school that's not far away either. So we are like totally entrenched in this community. I was recently had organized an event. I'm also a TT. And the students had asked me to organize an event around Small Business Saturday, which I thought was awesome. And anyway, my friend who I had come in as a panelist, she was like, Ann, you were so your target market. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was like, I hadn't really thought. I like think of different people as my target market, but I'm like, wait, I totally have my target.
You're your own customer avatar. Yeah.
But as far as restaurant, I'll start with restaurants. Let's start there because I love to eat. But we order from La Villa every Friday. Calexico is like I can eat their fish Baja fish tacos all day long. If you want to find me, usually at the Commissioner, I love their. Let's be real about what really got me through COVID. It was their margaritas. Just like literally on our 2 blocks here, Shanghai Spa. So many great places in the neighborhood. I think we're so lucky here, right?
We are so.
I'm sure as soon as we stop this conversation, maybe I can follow up with some even more, because I feel like my husband's like. We wants to this thing where like, let's see how long we can survive not going into Manhattan. And I was like, we never have to go to Manhattan. There's so many great places just so close to us.
I know, I feel the same way. And it's like, and even though I do a lot of work in Manhattan as well, it's just like, man, Park Slope being in Brooklyn and being surrounded by so many other great neighborhoods is really easy to just stay here. It's just, like you said, we are so lucky. So, and this was great. It has been so wonderful talking to you and also getting to know you better, because there's so many things that I learned from speaking with you today that I had no idea, even though I've seen you so many times in and out of the shop. But again, thank you so much. So again, this is Ann Cantrell, owner of Annie's Blue Ribbon General Store. It's on Fifth Avenue in Park Slope. So specifically Fifth Avenue between President and Carroll Street. You can get there via the Union R train. Okay. Union Street R train. So if you have not been there, you need to go. You don't know what you're missing. All right. You don't know what you're missing. And if you have heard of it and you've popped in a few times, pop in some more or go online, because she's got great stuff. Like, she just posted about like some keychains, and I'm like, I need new keychains. I'm getting these. So, yeah, thanks again, Ann. And thank you, folks.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for all your support.
Of course. In my mind, it's easy to support businesses who are out here doing great things, providing us with great products, and are really contributing to our community. So again, thank you. And
awesome.
Like I said,
so much.
And thank you so much, folks, for tuning in. I'm Nikki Thomas, again, with the Corcoran Group, and I will see you for the next interview, which I hope will be as fun as this one, because this is great.